Kshamyatam, I'm not.
This meeting is being recorded.
Not in a position to switch on the camera. A quick question. So the last statement picked my interest. That the fear of God. Kannu kuttudum, that statement, right? Yeah. When you grow up with that kind of fear, I guess it's only grace that will lead you to clarity, because I know of a couple of really old people in my family who still hold on to that fear, right? So everything is uh, all rituals and everything comes from that perspective that, oh, if you don't do, then you're doomed. God will be so angry, and so there's so much of fear behind puja and uh, the rituals. Um, so my thing is, how does so is that grace that gives you that clarity? I mean, how did they miss that boat, right? uh, it's so sad to see older people like this functioning this way, and that if they keep it to themselves, that's fine, but they transfer it to you, right, the younger people, and so then it becomes a difficult thing.
Yeah, this seems to be a niyama. And so that's how it is. And they transfer it. See, we all transfer our wealth to our next generation, right? This is also wealth. Whatever we know have in our head is also wealth only. We have no choice but to transfer it. And so we transfer only what we know. And so, but at least as long as it is meant for dharma, that's a great thing. Okay, we should not just put down that idea. God will be angry if I lie. Suppose my parents told me that. I think that's not wrong. That's okay. At least it makes me say, okay, at least there is some fear because of which I must speak the truth, etc. But it's possible to grow out of that. Why having good friendships is enough. You don't even need Shastram to grow out of that. Yeah, I will do what is the right thing. And so after a while, that the God will be angry idea can become a memory, a distant memory. Okay. And it need not rule my life. But yeah, but majority of the world, the believing world, the religious world believes that. And Hindus are no exceptions. We believe it. And yeah, karma, karma is done. All karma done. Because if I don't do it, then I'm in for something, some papam I don't want to gain. No, to first I have to recognize that that's immature. And what is a mature view? Hey, I must do my karma because Pancha Mahayajna I am supposed to do. This whole ecology depends on my action. I can destroy this ecology. I can sustain, nourish this ecology. Therefore, I must do it. And I must do my shraddham. And I have to do it because this is a great tool that's been given to me. What tool? Hey, that I can invoke the ancestors is unheard of. The school is not going to teach me, college is not going to teach me. But the fact that I can connect with even the dead people, I look at it differently, right? Because because that force is all there. Ecology is incomplete. Living and the dead, everything is part of the ecology. And the dead are anyway going to reappear. So there is nobody that is just lost, vanished, just like. And so it's a beautiful thing. So I have to just look at the whole thing from a different perspective. And so you already said it, grace. And so, yeah, grace is needed. Grace is definitely needed. And grace is needed in all walks of our life. And here also grace is.
Dhanyavada.
Yeah. So we don't need to blame it. So key here is we don't need to blame our parents or this or that. This is how it is. This is the niyama. And so now it is, and so it's now up to me. There is Atman Atmanamuli, he says. Bhagavan Krishna didn't say, don't blame all those people. He doesn't say. So we will take that advice and we can help ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, Vaidyaji, go ahead.
Jaikumar ji, I don't know this, the word Kiriti, so which is a name of Arjuna actually. I don't know the source of this, but there are 10 names of Arjuna that is traditionally mentioned. So it goes as Arjuna, Falguna, Partha, Savyasachi, Dhananjaya, Vibhatsu, Vijayo, Jishnuhu, Kiriti, Shvetavahana. So Kiriti is the 9th name that is mentioned. It just happens that he is crowned, but Kiriti is also a name of Arjuna.
Correct. One of the 10 names of Arjuna. So Kiriti is one of the names. Savyasachin. All these are names given. I think there's a shloka also which talks like that. Gives all the 10 names. Yeah, Kiriti. We don't even have to get to the meaning of the word Kiriti. Kiriti is a name for a name of Arjuna. Thanks, Vaidya. Maheshji, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to ask the same question, but because I happened to read the, I'm here.
There you are. Thank you.
I happened to read the Bhashyam by, the commentary by Chinmayananda. There he says, Sanjaya purposely used this Kiriti because indirectly telling Dhritarashtra that he is going to be crowned the prince. Crowned. That's what is. And I didn't know the names. I mean, Kiriti is one of the name of Arjuna, but that's what.
Yeah, so that's the beauty. So, beauty of, if you look at the sub-commentators and all, Ramarai Kavi, Anandagiri, and so they've also commented, Shankaracharya has commented, of course. And sub-commentators comment on Shankaracharya's commentary and add their own little flavor. And you'll find all these things.
Yeah.
Because they'll say, they'll say. So one is free to interpret like that. Nice.
Yeah, and his added to that was that he didn't want to say in a Rajakumara or something because he may get punished. So he used to. Well, this is Chinmayanda. This.
Yeah.
So he indirectly used a word called Kiriti. But I didn't know that actually his was one of his name. But anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Sure. So Vijay, go ahead.
Yeah, Guruji. So you mentioned about dharma and then sharanagati and all this. So these are all maybe stages till you become a jnani, because in those stages there is still that duality, right? Sharanagati also, I am surrendering to someone. Or even if I say dharma, that also probably is some way to indicate something different from me, right?
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. So it helps us mature. And so nothing wrong in duality. In fact, through duality only non-duality can be appreciated. So we are not rejecting duality. We are rejecting the satyatvam of duality eventually.
So where is that, or not where, but how do you at one point, like you also mentioned, you have to be busy, you have to be active, you have to do that. At what point does that transition happen? At some point you have to, even as a jnani, you might continue to do what you're doing, but you're doing before becoming a jnani and you're doing after becoming a jnani are two different ways of doing it, right? So where does that transition happen? Because when you are actively doing in the world, you might still get sucked into the world only. How do you transition and say that, okay, I have to now really realize the Atma?
So It is exactly like the jnanam. So this is jnanam, right? This is not karma. What is jnanam? This Mahavakya Upadesha is jnanam. Okay? Knowledge. So the question is, how do I know that I know algebra? Suppose I ask that question. Let's forget Vedanta and all for now. So how do I know that I know something basic? Do I know that she is my daughter, he is my son, etc.? How do I know? Okay. So subject, there is subject, of course, is vast. So you can only say I know so much. Then exactly like I wake up and say it was a dream. How do I know it was a dream?
Because I woke up.
And what is the transition from dreaming and transitioning to waking state?
Deep
How
sleep.
long is the transition?
Actually, no time, probably. Yeah.
Why? Why there is no transition? There is no transition because it is jnanam. That is the beauty of jnana. Jnanam means the light bulb goes on or goes off. Sometimes they say goes off. I don't know why they say goes off. They should say go on, but sometimes they say goes off also. And so that light bulb transition can apply to nishta. Then after the light bulb turns on, aha, you say, then the nishta. Because now my behavior is all based on past wrong ideas. And so my behavior is all these knee-jerk reactions are there. And so I have to slowly tell myself, you know what? I'm not a jiva anymore. I am Atma. I'm Brahma. To tell myself periodically. That's where telling helps. Telling will not help in gaining knowledge. I hope you're following, right?
Yeah.
Plus 2 is equal to 3, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Keep on saying, Baba. You say, no, that is not, no teacher teaches mathematics like this. Let's do japa of some addition. No teacher does it because that doesn't help at all. But they'll give homework. Write the 2 table, 3 table, 4 table and all. I've written all this. So that's different. That is reinforcing what is already learned. And so transition doesn't occur. There is no transition because it's jnana. Karma involves transition. Yes, karma, phalam karma. That is how it is. Transition is there. Cooking, transition is there. From uncooked stuff to cooked stuff, there is always a transition. There is time that is needed. But for jnanam, antakarana shuddhi, lot of time may be needed. Transition, correct? I am transitioning. But jnanam is there. Just waiting to know. Know me, know me, know me. That's what Brahma says. So, that is how we see it, Vijay.
Yeah, but as we have this sannyasi also as one of the this, right? For them, actions are not required to be done. So is there at some point where they say that you have to go into that state of not being involved in the action so that jnanam really comes or you realize that.
So that's an important question. Because in our dharma, sannyasa is an ashram, one of the 4 ashrams. And so brahmacharya ashrama, we are clear. Grihastha ashrama, we are very, 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 very clear. And then vanaprastha, we don't know about now. And then we say things like, oh, forest, there are no forests now, therefore. Then sannyasa is forgotten. That is how life has become. Then you have to look at the spirit of these ashramas. What is the purpose of sannyasa ashrama? Purpose is for a person who says, you know what? I see it. I got it. I have to know this stuff. And I'm going around stuff in this world of anatma. And it's not going to take me anywhere. And but I needed to get antakarana shuddhi. But now I'm ready for this shastram. somebody says, I've finished all my duties. Grahastha will have duties, no doubt. Duties have to be done. Shastram cannot allow abandoning duties, not possible. And so once the duties are completed, the person is ready to take sannyasa or not. Brahmachari can take sannyasa. Okay? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that. Says that you don't have to become grasta and I'll have grandchildren and then go to sannyasa. It doesn't say that. It says, Grihi bhutva, see, brahmachari bhutva grihi bhavet, grihi bhutva vani bhavet, vani bhutva pravrajet. Like that it says. Or brahmachari bhutva pravrajet. That also you can do, like that Shastram says. But you're right. The importance of the question is, if I want to focus on this, I need to let go of all the other stuff I'm doing. That is only possible if there is a separate forum given to me, and that forum is called sannyasa. Correct? Just like this forum, we have a class, etc. This class is needed to study the Shastram. Otherwise, there's no way I can pursue by myself. Like that, Shankaracharya introduces the Bhagavad Gita. In his commentary, he says, Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. Introduction to Bhagavad Gita. He says, you want jnanam, you have to take sannyasa. That is correct. And at his times, that is true. That is true. Now we have to interpret that statement somewhat. We appreciate the beauty of the statement. It says that to gain knowledge, I must give my full to what I want. That is true. That I understand. Therefore, what we say here now in these days, I became a non-competitor because sannyasa means non-compete. He's already given a non-compete agreement. He signed off a world non-compete agreement, right? That's what they say. They say NCA or something like that. I forget now. All those terms I'm losing. So some agreement we sign, companies sign between each other, etc. So this woman has signed an NCA with the rest of the world. I don't compete with anybody. And that is the implication of taking sannyasa. So what we say is, live like a non-competitor, don't compete like I used to compete before, and spend quality time with the Shastra. Quality time with the Shastra. Means keep doing whatever you have to absolutely do, cut off all unnecessary activities, which one can do because now I'm smart enough to figure out what's not necessary, what's not necessary. We don't need a big lecture on this. And therefore, I can slowly cut off. Suddenly what will happen is, I'll have a lot of time. Because anyway, after the children are married, they don't need our constant guidance anyway. In fact, they're constantly telling us to get out. But we are the ones keeping on poking our nose in their affairs. So I'm now ready. Oh my God. These people are asking me, Dad, you're very good. You're studying Shastra. You should study more. You should go from Bhagavad Gita to Upanishad. The children are telling me. And so that's a sign that, they don't want me. So that's good. That's a very nice thing. So, therefore, I think, we have this discussion with Swamiji when we study. Say, quality time and not compete. Because this competition will periodically come. Just standing in line and then getting my share, getting my share is always there. And say, no, this my share, etc. all over. Now I need to focus on the Shastram and I'm fine. I'm in good hands. That feeling must be there. And do whatever is to be done. Sannyasa, if it happens, let it happen. That is the way to look at it now. That's the practical way to interpret this. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So we don't need to worry that there is something incomplete in my life. As sannyasa is there. How am I going to take sannyasa? All those worries we don't have to have. There are sannyasis who are whiling away time.
Okay.
Yeah, they have no idea what's going on, but they are sannyasis. No, that's of no use either. And so I'd rather do what I'm doing properly and pursue the Shastram, Shravanam Karomi. That's perfect.
I think dropping all those unnecessary activities gives you enough time to really pursue along with the other things that you have to do as your duty.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Dhanyawad, Guruji.
Arjuna Palguna Partha Savisachi Dhananjaya Kimatsu. All religions are not the same. Yeah. Yeah. For this reason, all religions are not the same. That there is a religion that comes and says that God is Aparoksha and you are God has to be a different religion. It is a different beast altogether. And so, therefore, all religions are not the same.
I have a question.
Yeah, please do, Anuradha.
Um, what I understand with the sannyasa and all that, and you are really helping us with it when you put the discussions on, even if I'm far away from my own home, I can still, do my Vedanta. And it's not that I'm constantly thinking and all that. It really helps. So please keep up those, little questions, which our mind then goes back and reading everybody's thing and then again thinking of my own, and it really helps.
Right, right. I'll respond to that thing in WhatsApp. I think there was a, maybe, I don't know if you're referring to that, but
Yes, that you said that, okay, now let's start a discussion. And that's what I'm saying. Then everyone says their own thing. That helps everybody. So please keep them coming. That's my.
sure.
Thank you.
Let's do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. How was Australia?
Very good. Now it's getting.
Anuradha, they should introduce herself. I don't know if we've done that. And she's been attending our classes for some time now, maybe 6 months or so. And she's from Canada. And maybe you can introduce yourself, your background, your spiritual history, etc., so that the rest of us can know you better.
Okay. So I started my journey just after my retirement. And I wanted to learn Sanskrit first, though a lot of people discouraged me that why are you trying to even learn Sanskrit? But I was very determined to do that. But I didn't have any idea about Shastra or anything at that point. So I was very lucky. I went to somebody, a brahmachari, who got my email saying that I want to learn. And then I started learning Sanskrit. And without my knowing, I was very good at it, even in that class. So when we finished our 1.5-year course, we started with 22 people and ended up with only me. So after that, so I asked him, what do I do next? And he said, without even blinking, that Vedanta. And I said, are you going to teach me? And he said, no, because you are a non-vegetarian. I cannot teach you. And I said, okay. So then I came home and said, that's it. That's about my Sanskrit. I can never be a vegetarian. And just after that, I went to Manas Sarovar and Kailash, where there were only vegetarian food. And I spent around like 24 days without non-veg. And just before that, I read a little bit of Vivek Churamani without understanding anything. And I said, I need Brahmagyanam. That was the whole trip on that was like that. I came back, became vegetarian, and went back for my classes. That's where I got introduced to Paramarthanandaji's lectures. And I used to spend, when I first started, 10 to 12 hours of Shravanam and then writing it, and then going to the Swamiji at Vedanta Society and telling him whatever I learned. So that he encouraged me to do that. So I will have my actual understanding, the assimilation. And I also had my, to teach me all that. And so the way I was trained, that one Upanishad and then one Prakarana Grantha, but constant with Gita. There was a time, though, when it came to the 13th chapter of Gita, and I was blaming everything on myself. I don't have this, I don't have that, And then he said, okay, stop Gita for some time, learn what is exactly Vedanta talking about and everything, and then I will let you know when to go back to Gita, because Gita is something you can learn everything from there. So mine was like, like this at the beginning, but after some time now, I can really appreciate everything. So that's my background. Thank you.
Very good, very good. So that means, look at that. So 10 hours, 12 hours a day I was studying. Means what? This is sannyas. This is today's sannyas, correct? That a person is able to do that. When I'm committed, I can do that because there is nothing else to do. Our duties are over. And so retirement, for example, is a great time. And that is the time actual work starts, really speak. That's when work starts. So this is, therefore, I think we don't have to worry about sannyasa. Shravanam is there, there's nothing to worry about. Okay? And sannyasa is a beautiful ashrama. Thanks to India, we have something called sannyasa ashrama. Thanks to this dharma, that our rishis decided, you know what, we have to have this fourth ashrama that is there. And I remember my elders also, what my great grandfathers and all parents, they used to sometimes take off from home. When they're 60 or something, they'll say goodbye and walk away. And everybody will be crying and all that and partying, and then finally gone. That's it. They are gone. Where are they going? Kashi for it. So Kashi no Maran. So that I will go to Kashi and die in Kashi. But that kind of courage was there. Look at that. They are not big Shastrajñas and all that. And they said, no, that's it over. Time is up for me. To say time is up for me is, I think, requires a different vision altogether. Since I need to now refocus my life. And so good, very nice of you to do that. I think you've heard Swami Sarvapriyarandaji also.
Oh yeah. Because once that door opened, I actually felt whenever I needed something, the door will be opening. So I could keep up with the Shastra. Because at that time, who was teaching me was gone to India and all that. So I couldn't stand the thing. And then Sarvapriyanandaji came into my life. And he was also very helpful. And he is the kind that he wouldn't talk to you if you are not talking about Vedanta. So that way also it helped me. So that's the thing, like when we heard it from our childhood that if you take one step, God will take 10 steps. It happened in my life.
Right. Very good. So Anuradha ji is at her daughter's home in Australia, right?
Yes.
Good. So was it you were in India sometime last year? I think December time you were in India.
Yeah. Not summer, in the November. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Just after I started the class. And
Very good. Very good. Good. So let's keep up. Let's keep it up. Let's be prayerful. Thank you. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.